PBS Sports, the internet leader in hot, sensual YouTube racing, and NASCAR, the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, welcome you live to the rolling hills of Napa Valley in sunny California. We're here on our first of two road courses of the season, and the 8th stop in our Winston Cup Series season. It is the Pillsbury 80. All right, welcome into the booth here. My name is Andre the Giant. We got some good weather here today. We got the ladies bouncing around out there, tailgating. It's just all good stuff. It's the perfect atmosphere for a hot race. Let's take a look at the points. First, the owners, R8 Kaiser, now in the lead. CMR21 dropped a bit after Bristol. And take a look at Truxel with Muhammad Ali and Wendy Peppercorn. After Wendy Peppercorn's good finish at Bristol, Truxel is now, first time we talked about them in the standings here this season, I think. And we want to try to get Mako Sato, B. Spinney, and Deanna and Jacob out of those bottom three spots. But then whenever they move up, other cars go down, other owners will go down, and we'll be like, hey, let's get those guys out of there. And it's just going to be, somebody has to lose. I'm sorry to say, somebody has to lose. Not everyone gets a participation trophy here in the Winston Cup Series. And you see over on the left the prize structure. We're still down to $97 because of the Three Amigos win at Denver. And then taking a look at the individual cup standings after 7 races at Benedict, Arnold now in the lead over Robin Hood, but as soon as the green flag flies, Robin Hood's going to be back in the lead. He's starting near the front, Benedict Arnold's starting near the back. That's just how it goes here in the Winston Cup Series. Dr. Jerry Punch up in the top 5 now in points after his win at Bristol, but he's probably going to drop after this race. It's just a seesaw back and forth, hot action as expected. Dale Earnhardt will be starting on the pole here, you'll see in a minute. And a couple of tidbits here. Harry Carey and Sally Ride over on the right. Sally Ride P29, Harry Carey P39. They're the only 2 drivers so far this season without a top 10. Harry Carey in 7 races has 5 bottom 10 finishes. Just abysmal. Horrible. Harry Carey. Campbell Racing can't be excited about that, but they do have Miley Cyrus over there, 3rd in points. But to win that overall owners championship, you have to have both your cars performing well, and Campbell Racing's got to get his garage in order. So let's head out to the track. All right, we don't have a full pace lap here. Dale Earnhardt on the Superflow pole. Let's take a look at the rest of the starting grid here. The Walmart EverStart starting grid. Russ Wheeler starting in the front row. Harry Carey starting P10, trying to get that top 10 finish. Wayne Deadwhaley starting P12. He said he's been erect all week, waiting for this race. He thinks he has a good chance of winning this thing. P23 is Harry Balls. He's sporting a new car this race. Hopefully we'll show it here in the intro. Manscaped bought out his contract with Oscar Mayer Wieners. So yes, they have their name on the car. And we gotta go.
Green.
But there's just hot action about to start. We do have cautions on, 1 random caution. Damage, full damage. It's just all systems go.
Car left. Still there. Keep to the right.
The field making their way. Everybody got through there clean, it looks like.
Keep to the right.
So that's good. Tell you what, I almost had to put on my Skip Ripley hat there. Getting everything out before the green flag flies. I'm glad he's joined the crew. Just gotta bide your time here in the early going. All these cars just being patient. I was talking to Wayne Deadwilly before the race, down in the pre-race, when I was doing my grid walk. He said it's quote-unquote hard to tune in this track. I'm not sure what that means.
You're in the top 10.
Wayne Dead Willie finishes the first lap, gaining 2 spots. The wreck timer here is still in full effect. And we do have 1 random caution this race. I'm really focused on watching Wayne Dead Willie race right now that I forget to even talk. "45 laps here. Dale Earnhardt has taken the early lead from the pole.
Car right. Keep to the left. Clear on the right. Right side. Clear.
Looks like we're going to make it through 2 laps here. And that'll be like an unofficial wreck timer, so we'll send it up to you in the booth. Or, no. Down to you, Wayne, on the track. Looks like you lost a spot there to John McLean in the hairpin.
Yep, thanks, Andre. Not your best, not your best intro. Yeah, this is going to be, until things kind of spread out a little bit, I'm really concentrating. But Andre was right. The road courses are always tricky to tune in. To get the AI running the same speed as me the whole time. And what else is tricky now is as I'm talking as Andre, sometimes I forget I'm talking as Andre, so I start talking all fast like Skip Ripley. So I gotta remember who I'm talking as.
Clear on the right.
I gotta stop losing spots in this hairpin is what I gotta do. I gotta place myself on that front stretch because I can get a huge jump and always like bully them and pass them going past the start finish line, but I don't want to do that unless I beat them in the hairpin, and I can't beat them in the hairpin. So I'm kind of just feeling it out, figuring out where I can make a pass. And I think Andre mentioned Harry Balls in the starting grid. Manscaped is the new sponsor.
Right
It's a
side.
snazzy looking car.
Keep to the left. Clear on the right.
See, even the word snazzy. Who says that? Skip Ripley. Because I've been reading up on all these like 1920s slang websites, and I've been putting them all in a like my notes app on my phone. And then whenever I have some, like anytime I have free time, I just like read them out loud. Not even as Skip Ripley, just to read them out loud so they can be possibly.
Holy jumping Jehoshaphat! Wayne Dead Willie just took out Chuck Nolan in the hairpin turn. That low flower, four flushing shyster.
Deanna and Jacob, I apologize.
Stay on the left. Clear.
The shit.
Car right. Clear.
The rules committee in the Winston Cup Series on PBS is
Clear on the right. Right side.
it's chaired by Larry Thompson from the referee from American Gladiators. So we'll see what he has to say about that. We may award Chuck Nolan some points there. I'm trying to think of any time Chuck Nolan gave me the business. So Chuck Nolan, I'm running P11. Chuck Nolan dropped 6 spots. So hopefully that corrects itself and he DNFs. But if nothing happens,
Right side.
from that, we're gonna,
Still there.
I don't know.
Clear.
I just feel bad. We'll review it in the trailer. Dale Earnhardt out to a 1 second lead already. And I'm not rooting for him, man. I want the streak of different AI drivers winning races. And this is a tricky one to. It's yeah. Unless he DNFs, I'm gonna bet Dale Earnhardt wins this thing. Kind of like a 15 lap pit window here. And I got to remember how to drive this track. My fastest lap right now is a 119. It should be like a 117. I know it gets ridiculous in the early going. Oh, there you go, 117.495. Yeah, that's the ticket right there. That's the ticket. Says skip. I mean, hell, we're like halfway through this first run already. The Golden Girls for Mako Sato up here. I mean, we started behind them anyway. Just not a lot of hot action at the road courses. All right, lap 8. You're gonna see how the sausage is made here. I don't know if that's a Stan Ripleyism or not, or Skip Ripleyism, but I'm waiting for Jerry Punch's numbers to change, and then I know everybody has crossed the start-finish line. And it looks like everything's good. I'm going to wait till Dale Earnhardt is possibly near the S's so we can get a good shot through the S's for the snapshot.
All right, the Napa field summary, 8 laps into the race, Dale Earnhardt in the lead. I don't think there's any too many movers and shakers except for you punting Chad Nolan into the Pacific Ocean. I mean, I don't think he might be the biggest loser right now. Unbelievable. Just not a very sportsmanlike thing for you to do there, Wayne. And stop talking like Skip Ripley, brother, because I can't deal with two of you Jimmy talkers or whatever. I can't do it. Yeah, Jerry Punch bringing up the rear now with Wendy Peppercorn 27 seconds behind. Just incredible. Nothing's going on here. The next time we're going to be at a road course is going to be like race 22 or 23 with like 6 or 7 laps or races remaining in the season. We'll be at Hotkins Glen, we'll call it. But yeah, nothing's going on. You lost a couple of positions there, Wayne, in the early going. You had visions of winning this? Are you serious? I don't think you're going to be able to do that. And I would watch Bret Hart if I were you. Bret Hart is right behind you, and that's Chuck Nolan's teammate. He might be gunning for you. So I'd watch your rearview mirror there in the hairpin. But yeah, I got nothing else going on. We'll send it up to you, see if you can come up with something to talk about, or down to you on the track. You know what I mean?
All right, thanks, Andre. Yeah, not a lot to talk about. Just thanks for all the views, comments, likes, subscriptions, a lot of fun participation in the comments from the owners. Good stuff. I noticed that we'll probably get more participation in the winter when it's not summer and everyone's not out and about making moves. Everyone's stuck in their home in the winter. But whatever. I'm calling my shot. I'm going to try to pass the Golden Girls this lap somewhere. This pit window is right on the race window with about 15 to 16 laps. So hopefully the random caution sorts that out. And Andre said this track's hard to dial in, and all the road courses are. Didn't have enough for the Golden Girls here.
Right side.
Now I'm going to take them.
Clear on the right.
But I can't get too big for my britches after making a pass through there, because then I'll slam right into that wall going up the hill. But yeah, the Bristol race, it is what it is. I mean, we had wrecks and whatever. I mean, none of this is real. Like, you know, I mean, it's just a random thing. Just pretend that it's Bristol. You know what I mean? But it's really one of the only problematic tracks that I stick with, because it's Bristol and it's a staple of NASCAR, period. Can't just not run there. Although we don't run at Martinsville, that's because it's brutal. I mean, the AI just doesn't have a good time there. About 3 laps from pit stops here. Jolly Green Giant in the 38 Jolly Green Giant Ford in front of me. Don't really call out all my AC Racing teammates, because I should. Because I mean, I need them to win some races, get some points, finish in the top 10 in those final standings. The business will pick up in the second half of the season, for sure. In terms of all of that. And as is custom, or I'll make a custom. Once we get back onto the track after pit stops, we'll hit up a commercial and let the field settle after the pit stops. Go to commercial, and then when we come back, we'll just talk about every car in the field. Because I was waiting. I was going to make, a couple people have asked about making the video I usually make where I show all the paint schemes up close and all the little funny things on them and whatnot. And I haven't made it yet. And then as I was about to make it, Harry Balls took the world by storm. And I was like, we're going to have to put him in another car, the Manscaped car. So I did put him in that car, and I decided I wasn't going to make the car paint job video until he had that car done. So that video will be coming up. But as is custom on the road courses, because we did it at Portland last year, we'll just go through the field, talk about all the cars, all the drivers, all the inspirations for all the drivers and whatnot. All right, that's almost the second time I hit that wall coming out of the hairpin. So I guess this track isn't hard to dial in. I mean, this is tough sledding here. It's not even tough. I mean, I don't know. It's just, it seems like it's the same kind of deal that is going on at a lot of tracks where I have them dialed in so well to my skill level. It's tough to make passes unless you're perfect, which that's what I'm
Car right. Clear.
trying to focus on. I guarantee I'm going to do better when I'm at commercial break. Because that's just a general rule period, is that talking kind of messes up my concentration a little bit, let alone doing it at a road course. Early pit stop here.
The leader's pitting now.
Lap 14. Oh, Skip Ripley on pit road.
Oh, Skip Ripley's the name. Giving you the 411 on what's going on pit road. Dale Earnhardt, the leader, and Harry Carey, the announcer for the Chicago Cubs, coming on the pit road.
You're in the top 10.
35 miles an hour. Pit road speed limit. And they're leaving pit road. Not a lot of action here. Holy jumper Jehoshaphat, we have more action down on pit road. The rest of the automobiles now making their way around the hairpin turn in the slow pit road access corridor.
Pitting now. Keep it to 35. Keep it under 3,000. In second.
Benny Rubber, that sweet stick of butter, coming in third on the pit road. Oh, looks like Gumby's staying out on pit road, staying out on the track for one extra lap.
Watch that speed now. Keep it on 3,000. In second.
Russ Wheeler gets credit for leading the lap right there. Wayne Deadwilly getting service near the start finish line.
Go, go, go. Keep it to 35. Keep it under 3,000. In second.
All the cars leaving pit road. Dale Earnhardt coming around, probably going to stand out the lead here after these pit stops.
Okay, you're clear.
Chuck Nolan, is he stuck on pit road? He might have been. It might have cost him a couple extra stops. The crew might have had to fix the Johnson rod because of that spin.
Car left. Keep to the right. Clear.
There's Ric Flair in the flag box. Oh, and finally Gumby comes into pit road, the final car to pit.
Car left.
Wait, there's other cars.
Clear.
We got Reese Witherspoon, Bart Simpson, and Dr. Jerry Punch coming around. These will be the final cars to pit. Oh, Mary Lemieux did have the lead over to Dale Earnhardt, but Dale Earnhardt's fighting back into the hairpin turn. Out breaks Mary Lemieux. Dale Earnhardt will retain the lead after pit stops, it looks like, fellas. Meanwhile, we still have Gumby, all those final round of automobiles on pit road, and they're now leaving pit road after being serviced.
Clear on the right. You're in the top 10.
Heavens, the Betsy, this action was hot. Gumby making his way up to the track. Oh, Thunder of Olympus, we got a wreck. Bob Ross spun around by Gumby coming out of pit road. Bob Ross spinning around trying to get back onto the track. He's a painter. He sees colors all the time, but he's seeing it red right now, fellas. By the fires of Prometheus, we have hot action here in the NASCAR Winter Cup Series.
All right, I'm guessing Skip's done talking. Racing back to the line here.
Road is closed.
Sounds like that's going to be a merging issue.
Okay, we're under caution. Stay behind the 25 car.
And I tell you what, if that's going to be... Yeah, it looks like all that happened here. If that's Chuck Nolan, that brings in the butterfly effect clause that... I don't know what we're going to do with that. Early indications are Whitney Houston's involved.
All right, we're getting ready for the restart here. Steve Irwin pitted. I'm guessing Gumby did too. Skip Ripley was in the bathroom. Steve Irwin, some cars pitted under caution. We'll see if that has an effect on the outcome of the race. Showing the standings here, just we might not have a good snapshot here before we go to a commercial break, but just showing where your car has shaken out.
Green, green, green.
Wayne Deadwilly gets into Robin Hood there on the restart. Robin Hood missed a shift. I will say, Wayne, Chuck Nolan is back in P23. Not sure how we're going to handle that.
Left side. Clear.
Wayne Deadwilly
Left. Clear.
does a bump and run on Robin Hood. Robin's racing. Dale Earnhardt has still come out with the lead after these pit stops and after the hot restart. Looks like Gumby is off the pace after his dust up with Bob Ross.
Still there.
That Skip Ripley probably lost his mind about.
Clear. Keep digging.
Wayne Deadwilly up to P8. Looks like everything is, the coast is clear on this restart, but we'll send it down to Wayne.
Thanks, Andre. I don't know if Gumby's off the pace or what back there. As I suspected, it was a merging issue and had nothing to do with Whitney Houston.
Car right. Clear. Right side.
Man, I had to
Clear. Car right. Clear.
I had to go wide there to not get into Walter Sobchak, and I lost those spots. I learned my lesson with Chuck Nolan. I don't want any more controversy. Okay, I gotta brake better. I almost got into Robin Hood like I did Chuck Nolan.
Stay on the left.
Betty Rubble, I have you beat. Get out of here.
Clear.
I'm just focused right now. I would like a top 10, at least. I got spoiled on that first run, not having anyone breathing on me for the longest time. Now I gotta
Left side.
take the hairpin very carefully now, keeping an eye on my rear view.
A lot of hot, exciting action out on the track.
With 23 laps remaining here in the Pillsbury 80 in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series on PBS Sports. Let's take a look at the top 5. Dale Earnhardt, Mary Lemieux, Russ Wheeler, Harry Carey, and Jolly Green Giant round out the top 5. You gotta think it's gonna be tough for these other automobiles to get around Dale Earnhardt. Looking at 6 through 10, Walter Sobchak, Paul Revere, Robin Hood, Wayne Dilley, and that pretty little cherry bomb. Betty Rubble round out the top 10. We'll be back on PBS Sports for more of the Pillsbury 80 here in the Napa Valley in Sonoma, California. Harry Balls presents the Manscaped Close Shave of the Race. Last week at the Fast and High, tootin', rolling, touting, Bristol, a lot of wrecks happened. Jolly Green Giant was on. I think it was his turn 2. All these automobiles tried to miss him. They missed him. And then Wayne Dead Willie got spun around by the Beatles. This was the closest shave of the race.
All right, we're back at Sears Point. We're on lap 27, so we are expecting pit stop soon. How soon? I don't know. Wayne Dead Willie has lost 2 spots during the commercial break. Made the same mistake he did earlier, not hitting Walter Sobchak, and he had some bad braking into that same turn and had to go up into the grass and lost 2 more spots. But he's been fighting back ever since.
Right side. Keep to the left. Clear.
Dale Earnhardt has kept the lead, 1.35 seconds ahead of Lemieux, and they're both about 4 seconds ahead of the rest of the field, starting with Russ Wheeler. But yeah, Wayne, I mean, I'm just focusing so much on the action here that I don't know what to say. We'll send it down to you. Get ready for these next round of stops.
Left side.
Yeah, thanks, Andre. Just in time for me to have to make a pass here.
With 23 laps remaining
attempt
here in
one.
the Pillsbury 80 in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series on PBS
Side by
Sports.
side
Let's
in
take a
the
look
S's
at
is
the top
not the
5.
smartest move.
Dale Earnhardt, Mary Lemieux, Russ
just
Wheeler,
back
Harry
out of
Carey,
this.
and
Nope,
Jolly
let's go
Green
for it.
Giant round out the top 5. You gotta think it's gonna be tough for
Yeah,
these
it's pretty
other
clean
automobiles to
pass,
get around
if I
Dale Earnhardt.
do say so myself.
Looking at 6 through 10, Walter Sobchak, Paul Revere, Robin Hood, Wayne Dilley, and that pretty little Cherry Bomb. Betty Rubble round out the top 10.
Left side.
We'll be back
Just
Clear.
on PBS Sports for more of the Pillsbury 80 here in the Napa Valley in Sonoma,
just
California.
really hoping nobody gets into me and then going down into the hairpin.
You're in the top 10. Good job.
I'm thinking that that caution is going to straighten everything out as far as cars not being on the window. And if we stay on the window, this might be a Steve Irwin victory because he pitted under that caution. I gotta brake much earlier than that.
The leader's pitting now.
Looks like Skip's gonna have some hot action on pit road if he isn't already talking.
Skip Ripley here, ready to give you the 4-on-1 on the goings on pit road. We have a different camera angle for this round of stops. I don't think it's going to be any better. It's like watching ants. Second, first, same as the first. Dale Earnhardt and Harry Carey, the only two automobiles making a stop on the first little round of pit stops on the lap. Harry Carey looking good back there. Bartholomew getting his left tires on. He's off, and he's down. Or he's down, and he's off. Oh, but he's held up at the end of pit road. What happened there, fellas? We have to get a report from, well, me. Here, you can see the gang coming through the S's. Great Caesars Ghost. We're going to have a lot of action. Hot see action on pit road now. Mary Lemieux. First on to pit road, Russ Wheeler. Jolly Green Giant. Who is that? I can't tell who that is, fellas. I think it was Walter Sobchak, Paul Revere, Robin Hood, Betty Rubble, Wayne Deadwillie, Walter White, Bret Hart, and on it goes. Looks like we're having the same four cars not pitting this time, including Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston not pitting yet.
Go, go, go. Yeah.
Wayne Deadwillie.
Great work, guys. Let me
Jack,
know.
the Jack.
Keep it under 3,000.
They removed the Jack. The Jack, it's down. He goes.
Okay, you're clear of pit lane.
Looks like it's Carmen Sandiego bringing up the rear here. Bob Ross getting service leaving pit road. Not sure how many spots he lost on that kerfuffle he had with Gumby.
Clear.
Heavens to Murgatroyd. We got the final round of cars coming through here. Reese Witherspoon, Bert Simpson, Dr. Jerry Punch Gumby, and Whitney Houston. Trying to make something with nothing here, fellas. A lot of dead time in between these pit stops. This track is so huge. I gotta tell you, it's not the most exciting either. Oh, wait a minute here. Mary Lemieux has a substantial lead on Dale Earnhardt after the pit stop. Something happened with Dale Earnhardt at the end of pit road and caused him to stay there. And Mary Lemieux is taking advantage. Sizable lead in the late stage of this race. I don't think Dale Earnhardt will have enough to catch up. Oh, Wayne Deadwillie making a move on the hairpin. We don't see it. We don't see it yet. Let's see if he has the lead coming out of the hairpin. Or gains the spot. He does. He gains the spot on Walter Sobchak. Wayne Deadwillie will be P5.
You're in the top 10.
looks like the camera's abandoning what's going on at pit road. Oh, wait a minute. We got Russ Wheeler. Russ Wheeler for the Rocker 41 team. He was stuck on pit road at Bristol. Same thing has happened here at Sonoma. Odin's Beard.
Keep digging. You're in fifth.
All right, I'm guessing old Skip's done talking. I haven't been able to see pit road. Last time I was on pit or went past pit road, I saw Russ Wheeler stuck on pit road again, like he was at Bristol. I've snuck into P5. I passed Walter Sobchak after the stops and just left him in the dust. I still don't think the random caution has come out, but I have no idea. I could pause the game and check on my desktop, but that would defeat the whole purpose. All right, Russ Wheeler coming off of pit road. Let's hope nobody, no wrecks there. That's fine. I'm worried about some kind of pit window issue here coming up. Tell you what, I've sneakily caught up to. Me and Harry Carey are on a mission right now, coming after the leaders. Holy jumping! There's Skip Ripley again. All right, let's go through the field real quick, like I said, and we'll see what happens with the end of this race. Yeah, Russ Wheeler, Days of Thunder, obviously. Nothing else to say there. Carmen Sandiego, I mean, I grew up in the 90s, so where in the world Carmen Sandiego was the shit back then. Whitney Houston, we talked about her a few races ago. Awesome singer. Steve Irwin, the Crocodile Hunter, we talked about him at Denver, I think. Muhammad Ali, just a great boxer. Jules Winfield, obviously from Pulp Fiction. Samuel L. Jackson is just a great actor. I mean, he really came into his own in the 90s, too. Hang on, I can't look at the standings right now. Bob Ross, obviously, we've talked about him. Painter.
We got just 10 more to go.
Part of a lot of our lives. Benedict Arnold, the obvious, the traitor to the United States. Gumby. I couldn't for the life of me remember the name of his horse. It was Pokey. Three Amigos, we were joking about them at Denver. Wendy Peppercorn, we were talking about her somewhere in the Sandlot. Just, oh man. Dr. Jerry Punch, we were talking about him at Bristol. Speedy Gonzalez, we talked about him at Daytona, I think. Right out of the gate. R.L. Stine, the Goosebumps books. Anybody growing up in the 90s knows those books. Miley Cyrus, I don't know how much we talked about her. I mean, I used to not like her. I don't know if it had anything to do with her dad or I don't know. Like, there's no reason to hate her. But, basically, she went from her Hannah Montana Disney Club phase to just, acting out on her own. And, I don't know, it just felt like she was, going over the top with it. And now she's kind of settled into being an adult. I guess that's just, what every person does in adolescence, But she just does it in front of millions of eyes and gets scrutinized. But she's grown on me. Chuck Nolan, Tom Hanks from Castaway. Great movie. I mean, imagine just him, an actor having to hold an entire movie like that. Like Will Smith did it in I Am Legend. Matt Damon did it with the Martian. But I mean, Tom Hanks did it on his own. I mean, there was no jumping back and forth from Mars back to Mission Control. It was all Tom Hanks all the time in that movie. Just unbelievable. The Beatles, we talked about the Beatles. The Golden Girls, just a classic sitcom, which again, if you grew up in the 80s, you were probably watching it weekly. But in the 90s, you probably watched it in syndication. Bart Simpson, obviously, from The Simpsons. Nothing else needs to be said there. Larry Bird, the NBA great. Pee Wee Herman. Paging Mr. Herman. Great movie. I tell you what, I watched that a bunch, the Big Adventure. I watched that a bunch when I was a kid. And then as I've gotten older, I didn't see it for a while, and then I watched it, and there were so many jokes, just like a lot of movies that you grew up watching. You'll pick up on so many more jokes when you watch it as an adult. But I also realized, there's so many things I say from that movie, that's been in my daily vocabulary. It's just ridiculous. Missy Cooper, wee wee. Mrs. Blah. It's not supposed to be that funny, and it is. And that was Tim Burton that directed that. And then that's what spurred, I think it was that Warner Brothers that did those Michael Keaton Batmans? That's what convinced them to use Tim Burton for those Batmans, was the Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure movie. William Shakespeare, P-18. There's all this thing about he has a ghostwriter, and it's not really, him writing. I don't know. Whatever. John McClane running P-17 right now. Die Hard movies. I consider Die Hard 3 better than the first one. I know the first one's gained cult status for being is it a Christmas movie? Oh. But Die Hard 3, I consider it as the more superior film. Very controversial. Sally Ride, female astronaut, awesome. Elton John, great. Probably once a year, when the mood strikes me, or I remember, there's a Madison Square Garden concert of his on YouTube that's just unbelievable.
Car right.
Just
Clear on the
he
right.
holds 20,000 people in the palm of his hand for 2 hours. It's unbelievable. Reese Witherspoon, just really no reason to have her in the field other than an easy sponsor. Joe Montana, NFL great, but you have to wonder how much of his greatness is influenced by the West Coast offense. Which goes back to what we were talking about at Denver, where, the first to do something, the NFL wasn't prepared. The rest of the NFL wasn't prepared for that West Coast offense, which was basically just, it was substituting running plays with just like short dink and dunk passes. Like that's all it was. And it messed people up in the 80s. Bill Walsh out in San Francisco. Anyway, Harry Balls, he's there. Paul Revere, I think Skip Ripley called him a phony a couple races ago. That's because there's a big school of thought now that he really didn't do that midnight ride or whatever. Like he wasn't screaming and clanging a lantern in the or he's not the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, but or Ichabod Crane or whatever, but he's just the story's been romanticized over the years. Betty Rubble, iconic Flintstones commercial or cartoon. Bret the Hitman Hart, one of my favorite wrestlers from the 90s. Robin Hood. Carrie Elways, played Russ Wheeler, played, what's his face? Wesley in Princess Bride. Underrated little actor. He was the villain in Twister with Bill Paxton. Great, just a great, solid actor, really. That Robin Hood Man in Tights movie is hilarious. Walter White, obviously Breaking Bad. Just a great show. Just an unbelievable show. And I know there's people that, there's people that are going to be like, I don't see what's so good about that show. I mean, I don't know. I enjoyed it. And it was, I don't know. It was incredible. Walter Sobchak from The Big Lebowski. Just a funny movie that when I saw it like 2 times. And because my friend was like, you got to watch this movie. And I watched it. And I watched it with him. Then I watched it away from him. And I still didn't get it. And like a couple years later, I watched it. And I was just, I guess you just got to be in the right mood to watch that. Because it's just so funny. Wayne Deadwillie, just a fictional driver, obviously. Harry Carey, the Cubs announcer. But that's, his picture in the grid is Will Ferrell's character. Harry Carey here. There's a hilarious skit with him and Jeff Goldblum. Space the Final Frontier or something with Harry Carey. I don't know what the hell Will Ferrell did when he pitched that to the staff or whatever. It's just hilarious. Jolly Green Giant, he was actually supposed to be in season 1, but he got left on the cutting room floor, and then season 2 he didn't make it, and then with the Andre the Giant coming in, it made sense for Jolly Green Giant to come into. Oh, meanwhile, Mary Lemieux has passed Dale Earnhardt for the lead out there. Mary Lemieux has not won yet. I don't know when that happened. But then those are the last 2 cars. Dale Earnhardt, and then fittingly Mary Lemieux. I lived near Pittsburgh, grew up in Pittsburgh. Hockey was my favorite sport growing up. Still is. I mean, I don't really have a favorite sport. But, I mean, I just grew up like Mary Lemieux was my friggin' hero. All right, so I hit the wall. And that is the field. Hopefully somebody didn't DNF during that time and I have to edit around Skip Ripley. All right, we got 3 to go. I'm probably just gonna, because usually I had the standings up for a while. I'll usually keep this screen up right now, so then I know I can see the lap number, and then I can sync it. I can find that lap number in the replay editor and sync the replay at the start finish.
Oh, we got trouble, fellas. The Golden Girls in the 24 AARP automobile seem to be off the pace. Oh, just a tragic story for the Golden Girls. They've been trying to make moves in the points recently, but this is going lady luck. Just gave him a kick in the shins. Oh, and they're holding up Gumby. Holding up some other automobiles as well here. There goes the pugilist, Muhammad Ali. Crocodile Hunter, Steve Irwin, Whitney Houston, and Carmen Sandiego, the spy, I guess.
What lap is where? Although I could probably just get the final lap number that was shown before the standings rant, and then just do math real quick in the timeline in my editor software. I don't know. I'm thinking out loud. We had to somehow get through the end of this race. I want to get a P5 finish. 2 to go. Mario Lemieux, I don't know how the hell he got around Dale Earnhardt. So yeah, this difficulty's good. I see nothing wrong with it. We were catching up to them for a while, but I just don't have any. I don't have any ass to get around them, unless I bully them a little bit.
Clear on the right.
Tell you what, the good news is for me and for Harry Carey and for anybody finishing top 10 here is that you'll be starting the back of the pack at Talladega, but that's not like all the other tracks. I mean, you'll be able to get to the front at Talladega. I might get 2 straight top 10s here. Pretty incredible. I don't think we're going to have any pit stops. Or Skip Ripley might have jumped in and mentioned the Golden Girls. I don't know. Again, I record that after the fact, and I don't really care what I'm talking about. I'll bring my volume down that I'm talking right now so Skip can do his thing. No rapidly moving number, so it looks like it was just the Golden Girls that had to pit at the end of the race here. Not sure why. Harry Carey getting a big top 10. Hard to really know until we see those results coming up if anybody made any big moves. Any move you made here is going to be huge. Just out of curiosity, I want to find Chuck Nolan P23. Yeah, we'll give him like six points for the earlier tussle. Oh, wait a minute. Now I wanted to get a drag race to the line there. It didn't happen. Oh, it did. But no.
All right, there's the checkered flag. Great job, buddy.
Yeah, Golden Girls are 1 lap down. We'll let the rest of the field cycle through there and then head to the results. So you'll be able to see where your car finished. All right, let's take a look at these results. Mario Lemieux gets the W. 2 straight wins for Bryce. Let's not forget that little storyline there. But we do have 7 different race winners through 7 races. Or 8 now. Never mind. 8 different winners through 8 races. Yeah, and he had the lead from those pit stops. I didn't even see it. Skip Finley saw it, though. Or Skip Ripley. Harry Carey gets that top 10 that he's been craving. Robin Hood, a fixture in the points race, he stayed up there, finished P8. Harry Ball's a big jump this race. Reese Witherspoon, a huge jump. It probably has something to do with her staying out on that one, being one of those cars that weren't pitting with everyone else. I don't know. Sally Ride gained a bunch of spots. Hopefully can get a top 10 at Talladega. William Shakespeare, we don't talk about him enough. I'm waiting for him to make a move in the points. Looking at the back half, we got to talk about Chuck Noland. The NASCAR officials say due to the dump maneuver that Dead Willie put on him, we are giving him 6 points. Chuck Noland is getting an extra 6 points this race for the dump by Wayne Dead Willie. Let's see. Nothing else going on. I mean, nobody made these huge moves. This race, Benedict Arnold couldn't gain any ground. The points leader, he's not going to be the points leader anymore. Gumby and Bob Ross got into it on a pit road merging issue. And the Golden Girls, they were running, I'd say top 15 or something before they had that issue, and they fell off. That sucks for Mako Sato. Because then they also had Steve Irwin finish poorly here, and who knows if they have a bad Talladega where you can easily just you can move wherever. It's not like here where you can start top 10 and most likely finish top 10. Talladega, you can start top 10 like they will and maybe finish P40, and it's going to be that's going to hurt Mako Sato if both of their drivers do that. And then Russ Wheeler, second straight race. He was running P2 here, and then the second straight race where he had a problem on pit road. So, yikes. And then looking at the bonus points here, Dale Earnhardt, Mary Lemieux, and Russ Wheeler led laps. And then, again, this is just it's sometimes weird to really get the AI. I don't know. You got to look at it in the grand scheme of things. I had the fastest lap by 0.3 of a second. Okay. But if you watch this race, I wasn't sandbagging. I was going all in all the time. And it ends up being a nice difficulty. I just have a faster lap. But I think it has a lot to do with the consistency. I just cannot be consistent on the road courses. And these computer people can, And Dale Earnhardt gets a bunch of points this race, gets 2 extra bonus points, finishing second, gets a bonus point over here on one of the fastest laps. Gumby and Jolly Green Giant get the other fastest laps. For Sonoma, we'll be back at another road course later in the season with like 7 or 8 races to go. I don't know. I kind of, when I'm recording the video, I'll kind of paint myself into a corner that, hey, Skip Ripley is going to be doing all the pit road action. I don't think he's cut out for the action where there's, it takes a minute and a half for a car to get around the track and there's just no action. I think he's in his comfort zone at Bristol or something like that, where there's just a lot of action, and I don't know. I mean, there's definitely a place for Skip Ripley. I just wasn't impressed with his performance this race. That does it. Hope you're having fun with the season. Talladega's coming up next. Then we got, I think, Vegas. I mean, I look at that schedule all the time, and I can't even picture it. But yeah, be prepared for the paint job video or whatever that's going to be coming before Talladega. I'm going to have that put up. But yeah, that's it for Skip Ripley and Andre the Giant. This is Wayne Dead Willie. Good night and good luck.